Hello, happy match day eve. You're watching Back of the Net with myself, Sam Davis.
And me, Tom Jordan.
Whether you're a Bournemouth fan or an Arsenal fan, thank you for watching. If there's not a button that's pressed and says subscribe down there, just press it. Come on. We really appreciate your support. We're approaching 10,000 subscribers, mate. We're nearly getting as many subscribers as seats in Dean Court.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're an Arsenal fan, welcome to the channel. You may have seen this guy before. You appeared on AFCB, didn't you?
Yes, I did after the home game, yeah.
A lot of fans were saying in the comments that you should be an Arsenal fan based on your knowledge of the side, but it's not just Arsenal. He knows lots about every Premier League side. That's why we've got him on the channel. But primarily, Tom's a Bournemouth fan, as am I. And if you are a Bournemouth fan, help us out by hitting the like button. We would truly appreciate it. Tomorrow, Bournemouth travel to the Emirates for a 3 o'clock kickoff against a team that are 5 points clear. They're doing so well. Are they going to win the league though? This show is about you, Arsenal. Are you going to win the league? Who are your players that we think are standout players? Who are the players that maybe go under the radar? And will you be lifting some silverware? We've seen the league table. They're doing all right, but as we scroll down, we can see Bournemouth in the relegation zone. It's not quite a must-win match, is it, mate? But it's one where it'd be nice if we picked up some points. It would be nice.
It would be nice. It would be very surprising. We knew that we've just lost to City, and then we had Arsenal. So, yeah, we knew we had a tough couple of games, and maybe the proof being the pudding later on down the line. But, you know, if we could pick up any points, they'll be invaluable for us at the moment, mate. So, let's see if we can cause a surprise. We got it at some point, surely.
We had the first part of our preview yesterday. If you haven't seen that, click the card at the top of the screen where we were sort of talking more about us. In this video, it's more about the opposition, but we were wondering whether we'll go 4 at the back, whether we'll go 5 at the back, and what things can maybe our manager Gary O'Neill have learned from the 4-1 home defeat to Manchester City to try to improve and maybe get something at the Emirates. But history tells us that we never get anything at the Emirates. Here's our head-to-head record. Not particularly great, is it? Although we have had a win against them before, albeit that was at Dean Court, and also a memorable 3-3. Can you remember the last game against them where we won them, mate? Who scored?
The winner,
what was the score?
Yeah, beat them 2-1, didn't we? Only time we beat them, wasn't it? Jordan Nye, winner.
Yeah.
Callum, I think, scored the equaliser. Was it Bellerin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Took the lead, I think they did. We went behind and we come back and won it.
It was a penalty, was it, that Callum scored?
No, I don't think it was.
No?
No, I don't think it was. I feel like both of them kind of went under check. I think it was Pat Check, but yeah, I know I've got the winner anyway. But I remember that was a really weird. I mean, they weren't in the same place, of course, but it felt massive, didn't it, that we beat Arsenal?
Jordan Ibe, what happened to him, eh? But also in the 3-3 match against them. Wow, taking the 3-0.
3-0 up, cruising.
Unbelievable scenes.
Yeah, I think it was Sanchez, Lucas Perez with a volley. I remember that, and then Giroud scored and done the old Scorpion celebration, didn't he? But yeah, I remember us playing really well that day, and obviously they just come back and nick the point. But we've had some good ones at home. But yeah, away from them, I don't feel like, I might be wrong. I think you were saying about the 1-0 David Luiz, wasn't it? They beat us, which we weren't a million miles away. But I always felt like we've never really looked like getting anything at their place. So hopefully that can change.
And they're a team changed under Mikel Arteta. Look, I mean, Arsene Wenger, of course, is an Arsenal legend. And there was that spell after his departure where they couldn't quite find an identity. But under Mikel Arteta, it's clear that they have. Initially, when he took charge, some Arsenal fans were still not sure about him. But I'm sure they're going to be eating humble pie as they see the team, hopefully. And I say hopefully as a Bournemouth fan because I want to see other teams winning the league, not just Man City, Liverpool, etc. And it'd be great to see Arsenal back in the mix with Premier League trophies. But it looks like they're on their way, mate.
Doing very well. I think Arteta's been incredibly impressive and brave. I think obviously there was the doc, wasn't there, where you could see a bit when they just missed out on 4th. But it was brave decisions. Obviously Man United have just won a cup and people are lauding Ten Hag, and rightly so. And there's similarities in the sense that I think he come in and was quite ruthless in getting rid of Pogba, in like not playing Maguire, who was the captain. And I think there were similarities with Arteta letting Aubameyang go when they all thought they needed him. So being quite ruthless in that sense. And Xhaka, who everyone thought was definitely going, kind of saying, no, he's my type of player, I believe in him. And now he's a bit of a hero there. And I don't think I've ever seen a turnaround in a player so much. From chucking off the armband and his shirt and getting booed off the pitch to now being, sung his name. So, yeah, deserves massive credit, Arteta. And they've got it's the age of the squad as well. You just feel like they're all young. Like, this team could really kick on, and even though they're in an amazing position, you feel like they'll be up there for seasons to come if they keep going. So yeah, it's been really impressive, mate.
I must admit, start of the year, I thought, well, maybe not start of the year, a month in, I thought maybe the train's coming off the tracks a little bit with Arsenal, but there are so many twists and turns, and I'm sure there still will be as we're looking at the January results for Arsenal on screen. Of course, we start with that 0-0 against Newcastle in the Cup. They progressed against Oxford United. They won the North London derby, which was a great result for them. Beat Manchester United 3-2 at home. What was a really entertaining game that was. And then in the FA Cup, sadly losing to Manchester City. I think Nathan Ake scored the winner.
Yes, he did. You're right. Yeah,
in that one, didn't he?
You're right. Yeah.
And then, yeah, mate, talk me through February, because it didn't start off amazingly well for them, did it? Really?
Well, it didn't do us any favours, did they? They lost to Sean Dyche, which it felt like it was written, didn't it? His first game, and he just Dyche balled them for a 1-0 win. And the surprising one was the Brentford draw. I really thought they'd win that. I know there was some VAR controversy, but yeah, and then you feel like, the wheels coming off. They got the big game against City. Played well, I felt, but City showed their class and won 3-1. So I did feel, I can't remember, which away game were we at? We were at the Wolves game, weren't we, when Villa were playing Arsenal, I think. It was the early kick-off.
And Villa started well, didn't they?
Yeah, started really well, and they led twice in that game, and you thought Arsenal were coming off here, and that was a big win for them to come back and win that. And then I think the win at Leicester and clean sheet was big as well after just conceding a few goals. So they seem to have turned that quite quickly. And then obviously in the week they've won at the Everton this time round, which is good for us. And
in that match against Villa, of course, it was 2-2 until the dying embers, and then 3-2 with that cracking goal that hit the keeper and in. I think it counted as an own goal, and then the Villa keeper Martinez comes forward. Now, when that happens, I want one of two things to happen, and the second thing happened. I love it when a keeper scores. It's rare. But the breakaway goal.
Yeah, it's always good
absolutely fun. Love it. I always love it when players have a go from their own half, but they didn't. They just strolled forward and then they worked it really well. And then won that 4-2. And then, like you say, against Leicester City.
They battered Leicester 1-0.
They did, yeah.
Flat as Leicester, big time. But yeah, I think the clean sheet was important because as we've just gone through the results there, they hadn't kept a clean sheet in a while. And I think that was important for them to show that because, teams that win the leagues do keep a lot of clean sheets. And then in the week beating Everton, which we were happy about.
What do you think's different about them this time round? Do you think it's just more steeliness? Do you think it's Arteta? Look, we've all seen the Amazon documentary, and we've seen his team talks and the team talks that various members of staff do to try to make it interesting, to try to G the players up and motivate them in different ways. What do you think it is? Do you think it's the new additions?
I think they've obviously helped, but I think it's the type of player they've got, the character of player. I think we all know about Aaron Ramsdale, and not only is he a top quality keeper, but he's got leadership qualities at a young age, and I think
Ramsdale got relegated with Bournemouth, and Sheffield United. What can he do?
Yeah, he was player of the season for both them teams, I think, for a reason. But yeah, I always felt he'd go on. I think you see players sometimes, don't you? And Ramsdale, we saw him for one full season, and I knew he'd go places. But yeah, certain characters of players I think is really helping them. I think Zinchenko and Jesus, leaving City, I think City probably thought we can afford them to go there because they're not direct rivals, which obviously has bit them a little bit. But they're two players that have won leagues, and I think that's massive. And Zinchenko, I think, is more of a leader than people realise. He's captaining Ukraine. Xhaka's captain Switzerland. I think they've got some leadership qualities in there, which maybe they've struggled with. But mainly, I think they've sorted out the back line as well. I think Saliba's been immense for them. Ben White's done really well. And they've got a squad now. I know it's not the biggest in the world, but Tierney can't get a kick. Tommy Asu's a good player, can't get in the team. So and then I think Jorginho and Trossard were really good additions in January, which is just helping them kick on a little bit. Because I said to you off camera, but people are quite quickly forgetting that for 3 months Jesus and kicked the ball.
Yeah,
he's probably their best player.
Is he going to be back at some point?
Yeah, sometime soon I would have thought, and that will be helpful for him because they are still in the Europa League. So that will be helpful for him. But yeah, I remember people thinking when he got injured in the World Cup, that's going to derail Arsenal. And to be fair to Nketiah and Martinelli and Trossard, they've pitched in very well. And in Saka, I think they've got a world-class player in their team.
He's improving every game I see him. He just gets better and better. So, is he your man you're most excited to be watching?
Yeah, from a neutral point of view, he's always really exciting to watch. I was going to say, it's bittersweet when I see Saka, Rashford, just unreal, and then you look at Bellingham and what he's doing, and then Kane scored all the goals, and you think, we're not going to have another golden generation, are we? It is frustrating. But yeah, Saka's different class to watch, mate. He's unbelievable. And at that age, you just think, what a player he's going to be. And as I mentioned, I think the protection they have at right back with, whether it be Ben White or Tomiyasu, allows him to just do what he needs to do. Yeah. And people forget as well, Smith Rowe's just coming back, who was really good for him, and he's been out all season. So yeah, they're starting to develop a squad now. And in Ødegaard, I think they've got another player who's gone under the radar slightly. I think he's different class.
So let's wind back then. We played them fairly early on in the season when they visited us at Dean Court, and it didn't amazingly go to plan for us. We're at the Brunswick.
Hello.
Hello, Tom. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Quietly confident, actually.
Are we going to win tonight?
No, we're going to draw.
Oh, we're going to draw? Okay.
We'll go for a 1-1 today.
Arsenal. Jesus absolutely pivotal in that. Arsenal fans going wild, Bournemouth fans claiming for offside. Obviously now we know it's going to be VAR. 2-0. Too easy. Oh my God, what a goal. What a beautiful goal that was. That was unbelievable. Class. It's different class, that is. Oh, this is another hard Saturday. I mean, players are bowing to each other on the pitch. It seemed man against boys.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Apart from that big guy up front.
Again, the second half, you guys gave it a good fight. If you had played like that in the first half, who knows? Well, I think we'll have still won. But
I wouldn't say it was a game of two halves. It was a game where we were not so good in the first half, but we gave them something to think about in the second. But ultimately, it wasn't enough. Yeah, so that was our condensed matchday vlog. Click the card if you want to see the whole thing. And afterwards, we did our fan cams. It was great to be joined by Dan Potts from Football's 12th Man Pod and also AFTV, but also, as I said, you went on AFTV as well. Managed to chat to some of the regulars like Kelechi and Julian and stuff.
Yeah.
And then later on in the season, we've had various times where we've met them, including the Football Content Awards. But were Arsenal fans at that point in time, were they thinking that they could win the league? Did they believe? Talk to me about your season, mate. It's going okay.
Yeah, going okay.
Do you believe? Do you believe?
I'm starting to believe. I honestly believe. I think that we're at this moment in time. The league don't lie. We are the best team in the league at this moment in time. We play really well. Listen, we come down to you guys, Bournemouth, and I was worried about that game beginning of the season, well, and I think we played really, really well.
Look, Arsenal season, mate. I mean, it's going all right.
It's going very well. I mean, all right is a bit of an understatement. I mean, I didn't expect to be top of the league at Christmas, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm aware that there's still a long half the season to go, but it's going very well. I'm very happy with what Mikel Arteta has done. It's really good.
You're doing all right, aren't you, mate? Oh, you're doing okay.
We're doing all right. We're thriving. We're top of the Premier League, I think. I'm not sure. I think we are. Can you confirm that?
I've looked it up. They are, mate. Is it going to last?
Hopefully.
Is it?
Hopefully. I think it depends on the transfer window.
Mate, you won 3-0 at Dean Court earlier this season. Your season's going from strength to strength, top of the league. What's going on?
It is clean sheets away from home, 5 points clear of City.
Is this the season?
It could be. It could be.
Okay,
I've got my mate Hugh here. He'll probably report back to Scarfuggery and then.
Are you starting to believe? Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Arsenal are doing all right, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all right.
Would you fancy it?
Listen,
I know, Bobby. You believe, don't you?
I do believe.
Yeah,
I do believe that Arsenal can go all the way. We're going to need a lot of things to go our way. Especially injuries. If we could, like when Liverpool won it that year, they had a very injury-free season. Van Dijk didn't get injured. Salah didn't get injured. We kind of need a similar thing. Strengthen a bit as well in January. we've got more than a great chance because we're playing really well at the moment. I think at the moment we're playing the best football. I really do. So why can't we do it?
So even then, mate, even then they were cautious.
Yeah, of course.
But when you look at the league table, we saw it earlier, and I mean, they're closing on in. I think half an eye is obviously going to be on the lunchtime game on Saturday, isn't it? 100%.
City Newcastle, yeah, definitely. I think the win of the week was big against Everton because they've continuously, it's been Arsenal got this lead, but they've got this game in hand, and it's kind of, you've got to be wary when you say that because you've got to go and win that game in hand, and they did it against Everton. So yeah, 5 points now. City got a tough game against Newcastle, so yeah, they could enhance that gap. But so a lot of the season to go. There's still a long way to go. So there'll be bumps and there'll be twists and turns, I think. But Arsenal are in a good position. And I've always felt like City might nick it, but I'm slowly starting to think, ooh, Arsenal might, especially when you think like the Champions League as well. City have, even though they should go through, they've got Leipzig. They only drew the first leg. They've got some big games. We even saw that against us where they were taking players off, weren't they? So they've got. Whereas Arsenal have only got Europa, City have still got FA Cup and Champions League. That could play a part.
At the bottom of the screen, there's the latest team news. The press conferences have happened. Of course, Gary O'Neill, he had his presser. We know that some of the players that are still out for Bournemouth include, David Brooks, he's on the grass. Even Junior Stanislas was seen training next to Ilya Zabani. But I've got a feeling it's probably too early for them to be back.
Yeah.
So other than that, we're pretty much at full strength, aren't we?
Yeah, you said full strength to the degree of what we already know because we knew Tav was out. So yeah,
we had no losses in terms of no players out during the week, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And obviously the squad's pretty strong now after our January additions, and people like Fredericks and that who have come back and Rothwell and stuff. So yeah, we're pretty much as we are, and we'll see what happens. But we've been lately. I've been looking at our subs bench with a lot more. A lot more kind of. We've had a lot of youngsters on the bench, kind of after the World Cup. But since January, we've really strengthened them areas, and there's players that were playing regularly, like Ryan Christie and Kiefer Moore. They can't really get on the pitch now. So that's only a good thing, mate.
Absolutely. The referee for the game is Chris Kavanagh. Does that mean anything to you?
Nope.
Last time we had him was at Middlesbrough away last season.
Yeah,
that was awful. A good night out in Newcastle the night before. But
didn't they get a penalty in that game?
Yeah. Was it 3-0, 2-0?
No, 1-0 at Borough.
Was it 1-0?
It was only 1-0, yeah. They had a goal disallowed.
It felt like it should have been 3-0.
It was an awful game. But yeah, they I'm sure their goal was a penalty. So, not great.
Not great at all. Right then, should we do the teams? Tom's going to do the teams. You ready?
Can't wait.
I'm ready. Right then, let's get the pitches on screen. Here we go. We're starting with the home side, Arsenal. And it looks like you've gone for a 4-2-3-1, mate.
Pretty much.
Are we going to see an ex-Cherry in goal? I think we probably will.
Yes, we will. We'll see Aaron Ramsdale in goal for sure.
I don't think against the Bournemouth fans, he's going to be riling them up quite as he did with the Spurs fans, right?
Probably not. And there's Link at right back as well, Ben White. He hasn't played for Bournemouth, but he's from down here. So, I actually remember, I'm just going to plug myself a little bit. You said when I went on AFCB last time, it was early in the season, and Ben White was kind of filling in at right back. And I remember saying, you know what, I'm not sure Tommy Asu will get back in. I think Ben White looks good right back. Just saying. He'll be at right back, I think. Saliba and Gabriel, centre-halves for sure. They've been mustered. And then Zinchenko at left back. And then I'm going to put in a change. I'm going to put Partey in. I think now he's back. Jorginho's been playing, but now Partey's back. I think they'll rotate them too. They'll have an eye on the Europa League next week, and I think Jorginho playing that. So I'm going to go Partey in there with Xhaka. Saka off the right. We'll go Martinelli off the left. Then Ødegaard in that kind of advanced role, and I think they're going to stick with Trossard over Nketiah because that's working well for them and look good for them in the week. So that's how I think they're going to go, mate.
Right, on to Bournemouth then, and hello mate. I'm seeing the dreaded 5 here, mate.
I'm obviously predicting what I think we'll do, not what I necessarily want, but I do think we'll stick with the back 5. And I don't know. We obviously trialled it against City, and results-wise it didn't work. But the way Gary spoke about it made me think he was pretty happy for some reason. I do think we'll stick with it, mate. Neto will obviously be in goal.
Yeah, Neto in goal.
And then back 5 from right to left. I'll stick with the same, mate. Smith, Stevens, Mepham, Senesi and Zamora.
Yeah.
and then it'll be Lerma and Billing in front of them in the middle, with Ouattara off the right, Traoré off that left side, and Dom Solanke through the middle. I do think he'll go unchanged for this one.
No Jayden Anthony?
I don't think he will. I wouldn't mind seeing it actually, but I'm not sure. There's loads of different things we could do. As I mentioned, we've got a bit of a squad now available to us, but I don't know. I think he'll go unchanged for this one, and then we might see changes in the home game against Liverpool after that. But yeah, I think he's going to stick with the same. I probably wouldn't, but I think he'll be looking at it and thinking, wasn't too bad against City. We're not expected to get anything anyway.
Your tone sounds very despondent and negative.
Yeah, it should
and
be.
I don't
That's
know,
right.
but it's kind of like it's almost like you expect us to lose, mate.
Yeah, it feels a little bit. I think City Arsenal back to back. It's kind of like I just want to get these out of the way.
Just get them gone.
I just want to get them gone.
Get them gone,
and then start the season a little bit. I do feel like that a little bit, and just want to kick on now and try and get some results. And I think it'll be interesting to see what happens obviously after this game. But then we've got home game against Liverpool where I feel like we need to get something, and that's where we'll see what we're made of. But I think City and Arsenal, I just think are just too good, mate. I really do, and I love us to be able to surprise them, but I'd be absolutely shocked. I think I've seen we're 12-1 to win a football match. So yeah, you never know in football, mate. You never know, and I just hope we get a good, quick start, give them something to worry about, and that crowd in there has been better this season by the sounds of it, obviously. But if we can get an early goal and cause the problems early, let's make them a bit worried and panicky. Then you never know. But I'm just not sure we're going to be good enough.
Speaking of the atmosphere, Arsenal fans, just kind of, we've got a show dedicated to you in terms of your away day. Hit subscribe, hit the like. Hopefully you did that earlier on in the video anyway. But we've got an away day show, and you're talking about the atmosphere, and I've been seeing things online. I've been seeing these videos. North London forever. North London forever. Whatever the weather. That's supposed to be a North London. It seems to be there's so much synergy now between the team.
Yeah.
The staff, the crowd, everyone, all as one, and it's contributing to a better atmosphere. Now, they're playing Bournemouth, so whether they'll be able to raise their levels for a match they're expected to win, who knows? Look, against Brentford they drew, maybe they can drop points against us, but one of the things we're going to be doing is scoring your away day experience, the pre-match experience, the concourse refreshments, the stadium, the view, the people. Are Arsenal fans friendly? But also the atmosphere as well. So it'll be dropping next week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a no holds barred review. It could be brutal, but I've heard some good things, so you never know.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it on the last show, but there's always this kind of thing of every time there's a quiet crowd, you sing just like the Emirates and all that. But it seems like it's turned this season, so I'm really intrigued to see that. But if we can keep them quiet again, then that means we've done our job.
I'm looking forward to the away day though. A few beers.
Yeah, of course.
A good game of football, and hopefully 3 points. We don't expect anything, but you never know.
Never know, mate.
If you see this man outside the ground, ask for his autograph. Hopefully we'll get some videos, some fan cams done, as uploaded as soon as we can at full time, and we may even pop over to see our friends from AFTV and all that lot as well. So really, really good to see. But until match day, safe journey up, whether you get the train, car, coach, whatever, and we'll see you at the Emirates. Up the chairs.
Up the chairs. Can't wait. Do I seem a bit down, do I?
Yeah, you do. Come on.